I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on wedding rings in the movies, and I'm not proud of my address.
We're not just building muscle, we're building men. In the quiet hours, in the unfiltered moments, in the conversations that happen before the world wakes up. This is the Gloom, where brotherhood forms in the dark so we can lead in the light, where vulnerability is strength and leadership is handed from man to man, one story at a time. Our mission is to empower, exhort, and inspire men to achieve their best selves through stories of reinvigorated male community leadership. We bring you weekly interviews with F3 Omaha PAX, ordinary men doing extraordinary things in fitness, fellowship, faith, and leadership, because we believe that every man has a story, and reinvigoration starts when that story is shared. This is the Glue in the Gloom. Shout out to our sponsors, Avior Wealth Management, Liberty Core Real Estate, Major Team Mortgage, Exclusively Eye Care, Omaha Laser Dentistry, and McNamara Law Firm. We appreciate your support. Hey, are you the type of guy that likes to get up early in the winter to battle your jester? Do you love listening to people drone on and on and on about COVID in the gloom? Would you trust your vision to a guy nicknamed Cataracts? Well, if the answer to any of these questions is yes, fellas, you have bigger problems than you think. Dr. Cataracts, aka Dr. Wulff, can't solve all of your problems, but he can certainly help you solve the problems related to your eye health and vision. You will find many F3 principles throughout his practice. Check him out today at Exclusively Eye Care. Now, let's get back to the gloom. All right, and we're back. We're here at the Nomad. It's a beautiful day outside, just a blistering, windy, random stormy day in January. But I got my man Sandworm, and I'm excited, right? Because I feel like when you first started F3, I got to post with you a lot, and then maybe I don't think I posted with you like as much. And so I remember like pre-runs and talking about family and that sort of stuff. But excited to kind of hear like what the journey's been like. So yeah. Take us back to that EH story, kind of curious who EH'd you. And then I know the naming story has something to do with Griswold, and but talk us through all the details.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me. So thank you first.
Yeah.
And I agree. I don't know if it's me avoiding you or you avoiding me on workouts, but I've noticed that a lot lately with a lot of people. So maybe I just need to branch out more and get to some new areas.
It's tough, right? You get in a rhythm and
EH. So Little House, he EH'd me. Okay. I've known him for a long time, since college, and our daughters are good friends. So we started hanging out more, becoming
Are you
closer.
In like the dance world?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Full on.
Yeah.
So fun. We can get into that a lot if we want to, but
dance dads.
Yeah. So he had, I'm similar to a lot of people. Like he told me about this, that he was doing this, I don't know, 6 months to a year before, and would always just, lose me at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you guys are idiots. Who wants to get up at 5 o'clock to go work out?
Yeah,
so
who wants to do that?
He kind of threw it out there occasionally for me. And then I had my kind of background leading to this is I had been laid off from where I work again now, Yahoo.
Okay.
Worked there for 13 years, so it was kind of new. Found a job right away. It was a great transition. Everything was going well. That was a complete disaster.
Yeah.
So I was there for about 6 months and then left there too. So I lost my second job within a year. I was struggling a bit, and we were talking, and so that's when he kind of pounced when I was most vulnerable.
Waited until you were down. Yeah.
That's where he's like, you should really get out here. Like it's really good fellowship. It'll be good for you, and also something to do. I was sitting at home, applying for jobs as much as I could, but I can only do that so much. And so he's like, this is good. Get you out in the mornings, get you up moving around. So he brought me out to Wulff Den was where I posted first time because Grizz was viewing. So we did pretty tough workout. I felt like I did all right. We did something I still do. I use a lot. I loved it. Where went on the football field and we did kind of for the warm up. You run from sideline to sideline. So you run down, hit the other sideline, you shuffle,
Yeah.
and you Bernie Sanders back. Love that. I still use that. And then we did like a meet me in the middle
Okay.
beat down. So made it through all right.
Yeah.
Wasn't too challenging where I didn't want to come back afterwards.
Yeah.
And then for Nemo, they started, rambling off a bunch of questions. And like I told you, there's not a whole lot of interesting things that I had to share. But they asked me my favorite movie, and I probably have about 4 that I can shuffle through.
Yeah.
And that day was Beetlejuice, and Griswold was just like, wait, like, hold up. I never heard anyone say their favorite movie is Beetlejuice. So then I kind of stuck on that.
Yeah.
And somehow they came with Sandworm. So
yeah, because that's one of the
yeah, it's not a huge part of it.
Yeah, it's like a small part, right?
It is a part of it. Yeah. So it suits. I think we were telling Gator the story a couple weeks later, and he thought of Otho, the interior designer. I thought that was a good one too, but no, I kind of just accepted it. And
we could have also just named you Beetlejuice.
We could have.
Like that would have been a cool. I see like around F3 Nation there are guys with that nickname. But interesting.
So yeah, I mean there was a lot of ways we could have gone with it, but I like this one.
What was your like kind of fitness journey leading up to that? Like, because I feel like you've always been, since I've known you, like you're a pretty fit guy.
Yeah, I've always been like a superior athlete.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
always been an athlete.
D1. Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't want any of that stuff. Always was an athlete growing up playing sports. I always say I was like the best good athlete I'd ever. Just good at everything, not great at anything.
Yeah.
So that kind of helped me. I feel like that in our generation kind of set that work ethic when it comes to keeping your fitness up.
Mm-hmm.
But I struggle when I'm by myself to stay motivated. So I'd run a little bit, and think, oh, I just ran a mile. Like, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, feeling all proud of myself.
Yeah.
I do some like, quick workouts at home, just to kind of keep myself moving every day. But that was about it.
Mm-hmm.
Still managed to be in pretty decent shape. So maybe just good genes. I don't know. But hated running before this. So that was kind of something that I wanted to challenge myself on once I started getting more into F3 and love it now. I mean, I hate it, but I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't a ton. And once I started this, I just kind of got hooked.
Yeah. Easy to do, right? Especially with the accountability and sort of like, well, all these other guys are doing this, so why not join? I would be curious a lot of times, like leading up to F3, there's maybe partly fitness, but it sounds like yours was maybe had to do with just more the mental state you were in with job changes. And talk me through that, because I think we maybe underestimate like what you go through as a man when you go through something like a layoff. But I don't know if you would be willing to share kind of what that was like.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because looking back, that's exactly what I feel like it was. My mindset was not that way whatsoever. Like for even the first couple of months, I feel like it was like, oh, this is a way for me to go out and work. And I feel like a lot of us who grew up playing sports, like this makes sense. Like you said, it's hard. I never did anything by myself. I always had a team. I always had people with me. So I think that's what's so appealing to athletes, growing up who join this. It feels just comfortable.
Yeah.
But it was, for me, it was all about the workouts for first couple months until you kind of really just open up and let it, accept everything else that's there for you. Pre-running certainly helped with that, I think. And coffee, going to coffee afterwards. Naturally you're going to meet guys and get to know people and build those relationships. But I feel like once I started doing that, you kind of felt more part of something.
Yeah.
And more comfortable and more willing to be involved in some other ways.
Yeah. What about the layoff at Yahoo, the first job loss? Was that was just like a big layoff? That wasn't like you were underperforming and they said you got to go? Or?
Yeah, sorry. I know you asked that.
No,
it was kind of interesting. So I had worked there for 13 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, just naturally things I could feel things kind of getting stagnant a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Still challenged, still liked what I was doing, but it was like not a ton of movement on where I was going, what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So when that came, I knew it was going to happen at some point. Everybody does
Mm.
in our industry, especially. And so when I found out I was actually coming home, I was in an airport coming home from Disneyland from a
Oh,
family vacation,
wow.
and just got an email saying I was part of layoffs. So a little rough at the moment, but as I had time to think about it, like I was like, this is probably a good thing. Like I kind of needed a push.
Um,
This is an opportunity for me to try something different, do something new. And so, I was pretty positive about it initially. And luckily, I had a couple opportunities right off the bat that,
mm,
like, okay, this is the blessing in disguise.
mhm.
Something really well. So, jumped into something pretty quick afterwards that seemed like a great opportunity. And I joke, I got catfished. Like, so it's a very small company. The owner is the one who kind of recruited and talked to me, convinced me to come there, and it was just a really small company that was so unorganized, no communication, a mess. So that didn't last very long, and it was really the second round
Mm,
after that that was the struggle, and
mm,
that's when I started F3. So once I actually felt what unemployment felt like, and kind of the grind of searching for jobs at a time where it was not I could be searching for a job, yeah, that was tough,
mm,
and hard to keep a positive attitude, hard to kind of keep to the grind of applying and knowing that 90% of these I'm never going to hear anything back, probably more than 90%.
yeah.
Even stuff you're overqualified for, just trying not to be negative and just keep doing what I was doing and
Mhm.
hope for a shot at some point, which ultimately I got, and everything worked out fine. But yeah, it was an experience for sure.
Are you back at Yahoo
I
now?
am now, yeah.
In a
So
just a different role?
yeah. So I
Okay.
actually had another job. So I got hired by another company before Yahoo that I really liked, and um, could have easily stayed there. But a guy I worked closely with my first time at Yahoo had reached out, and they were hiring for a new team. So
Okay.
figured I'd a
Yeah,
chance
get back,
back.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
now I joke, I'm like, if I can get a couple more years out of this, then it's a good thing. So
Yeah. What well, and, it's interesting because so many of us, and maybe I can just speak for myself, like, have, attached my identity in many seasons of life to my job,
oh yeah.
and so then you go through transition or loss of that, and you're kind of, like, reevaluating, like, "Who am I? What am I good at?" And I don't know, anything that you feel like you learned throughout that process that maybe
Yeah.
other guys could benefit from?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's good and bad. I feel like there was definitely some things that especially just looking through some of these jobs, trying something different,
Mm,
reading through a description or something, it kind of made me realize there is a lot of routes I can take outside
yeah.
of just what I know, what I've done.
Mm,
A lot of the skills are learned just based off of your personality, your work ethic, everything. So
mm,
that was a positive part. Is just kind of okay. Well, I'm not just siloed to one thing. There's a
yeah.
lot of opportunity. Um, what has been kind of a realization now going back to Yahoo, I was there for so long. I was on a similar team or the same team for majority of the time. Like I knew a lot. I knew more than most people
Mhm.
on my team or with our partners that we worked with. And now going back in new role, and it's like, well, now what do I do? I don't know
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
I comply a lot of the experience and skills I got from every other job and being at Yahoo before, but until I feel like I have that background knowledge or that base knowledge, hard to apply any of it. So
No.
it's been over a year now, and I'm still struggling with that. I feel like because there's your job, and then there's things that you actually enjoy doing or passionate about,
Oh,
and I feel like if I'm going to enjoy my job, it's I got to find those things I'm passionate about because that's what keeps keeps you motivated. So finding opportunities for that, finding what that even is, has been a little bit of a challenge. I think it would just, it's not always, I mean,
Yeah.
especially when you're newer and there's a lot of experienced people that I'm working with.
Yeah. Yeah, I've struggled with that too, and I feel like I'm still, one of the challenges, right, is like I keep doing these podcasts because this is like what I love, and
Mm-hmm.
there's not really an opportunity for me to do this out at work when I, I love how you said, right, like it kind of open up to other things, but like when I think about what I'm really doing here is trying to help other guys share their
Yeah.
story. So I'm trying to really lean into like at work, like maybe that's something I can do that would bring me a lot more joy is like, how do I share the story of maybe the team or other people? So I'm trying to still kind of, like you said,
Yeah.
trying to find that, but I guess I'm trying to look at it from different angles because it may not be the exact same thing that I'm, but what is it?
That's my struggle too, is because that's what that was my role
Hmm.
at Yahoo forever. I trained, I was hired, I helped mentor all these people and
Yeah.
train all these people coming up. And that's what I enjoy doing. I like teaching them, being there to help just make sure that they're successful. And so that's part of it. Being someone new who maybe
Hmm.
doesn't know as much as everybody else, how do
Yeah.
I do that? I mean, the nice thing about just the tech industry and Yahoo specific is things change constantly.
Especially now that
So
AI and yeah.
yeah, I mean, one thing, taking my own advice, one thing I would tell people the last time I was there, it's like there's always new things that no one knows. So
Mm,
jump on those opportunities
yeah.
and be that person that dives in and learns something quick, and then you have value that you can share with
Yeah.
other people.
It's great advice.
So, I'm trying to take that advice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough.
Try and listen to myself, but
I love it.
yeah, it's not always easy. Especially when it comes to that. Like that was that's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's struggle being on the other side and relying so heavily on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to get better at asking. One of my goals this year, not like formalized, but just ask better questions,
Mhm.
and I think like that's something that I've realized, just empower other people. I got really good at knowing all the answers,
Yeah.
but that doesn't build future leaders. And
Oh
so
yeah.
just, asking better questions, but I'm sure we'll come back to the, sort of work and identity, but, um, to get us back sort of on script from a fitness standpoint, like, so you got into pre-running, right? I remember
Mhm.
pre-running with you a lot. Talk me through like your progression with F3 because somehow you landed on cinder blocks,
Yeah.
right? As
Yep.
being like I don't know if that was a passion or just sort of where you
No.
landed, but like talk like have you done a half marathon at this point? Or,
No.
okay,
Somebody else was just asking me that. And no, pre-running, partially I'll give Little House credit.
yeah,
He was always, especially at the time, great runner, and we'd work out and I always know he's pre-running, so it kind of was motivation for me to try it out at least.
yeah,
I still remember the first time I went, I
yeah.
was clueless and did it at
Just gassed.
uh, it was Bunstown. I think it was Bunstown. I think it was a Saturday.
Yeah.
Not knowing it was 4 miles,
Oh yeah.
and I don't think I ever ran, much over like a mile and a half. So
Yeah.
you might have been there actually, but it was a
Yeah.
lot of really good runners, and so I was trying to keep up
Uh,
at first, and then just gassed out. And oddly, it was Bouncer who sat back with me, and later I realized this guy
yeah.
could
He's a great guy.
just
Yeah.
just blown away me and left me in the dust, but
Yeah.
stayed back with me and helped me through it multiple times. I told him, I know they're out.
It's a
It's a
circle.
circle. So go, like, don't,
Yeah.
but I'm glad he stayed with me because,
Yeah.
not only did I not walk, but he pushed me through it and got through it. He's continued to do that. Every time I want a challenge and run, I've asked him to
Yeah.
come do something with me, or if he asks me, it's always like, okay, yeah, well, just push me, we'll go
Yeah.
your pace and I'll tell you if I need to slow down or
Yeah.
something. So he's always been a big help, but, yeah, it was another thing similar to my first beatdown. Like once I did pre-running once, it was like, okay, I got through it. It's hard, but I enjoy it. I feel much better afterwards. And so
Mhm.
that's kind of where the running came part. running part came.
Yeah.
No motivate. I shouldn't say no motivation, no desire to do any kind of races so far.
Yeah.
I've done 10, 11 miles. I think I ran.
Yeah.
Never a half.
Yeah. It's
Whether
only
it
2
be
more miles.
intentional or unintentional.
Yeah.
I definitely do it. I know I can do it.
Yeah.
I just never have really looked into signing up for an actual race or that. So someday I'm sure. Marathon, I don't know. I don't know about that. It
Yeah.
seems crazy.
I've always had this weird thing where I don't want to pay somebody to
Yeah.
run. Like I feel like one of my favorite things about running is you could just go do it anytime, anywhere. You know, the only weather is really the only thing that you have to worry about. And so like paying for a race just kind of seems silly to me, but I should probably think of it differently because some of those are for really good causes.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Well, and if only we had, something every month where you could go run a
Right.
half marathon,
for
right?
free. Yeah. Yeah. We should work on that.
That's why. I mean, multiple times I've had, a couple guys try and get me to do a half at a
Yeah.
halfway house. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe one,
Sundays are tough.
but
What about like the Murph and then tell me
Yeah.
about like cinder blocks. When did that become a thing?
so it's kind of funny because those two kind of go hand in hand. So, prior to Block Party, I was talking to Little House and he was asking if I had any site queue. And, we talked about it a few times and, I kind of came to the conclusion. I was like, I definitely want to do it, but if I'm going to, I kind of want to do, something different.
Yeah.
Uh,
Specialty.
Red Wings
Yeah.
or a Block Party. And I specifically mentioned those two. And, I had started going to Block Party pretty consistently. I don't do like weighted workouts. So
Yeah.
kind of look at that and now like Garmer as my lifting.
Yeah.
And so I'd been pretty consistent with that. And then I think like a few days later, Little House ran into Kryptonite and they were talking about something similar and he mentioned my name and Little House was like, oh, actually, he just told me that he would be
He's
interested.
interested, yeah.
So and Kryptonite jumped on that and
Yeah.
reached out about Block Party. And I think he had me locked in like March. Bike pass was October?
Yeah.
So he had me locked in pretty early. And I loved it. Not only Block Party, but like you, I thought it was experience. Would have kept doing
Yeah.
if it was needed,
Yeah.
as long as you let me, really. So, yeah, I mean, any reservations? I didn't really have many, but any reservations anyone has, it's worth it. It's not a whole lot of work. About as much work as you want to put into it.
Yeah.
So it was a great experience. Kind of all fell together.
Heck yeah. What do you think drew you to like the kind of I don't know, specialty sites that we call them? Like just something different kind of to mix up the routine, or what was
definitely that initially. And then I kind of learned, with Red Wings is a little different because I feel like they have a pretty good showing every.
Yeah.
But Block Party is typically a smaller group.
Yeah.
And, it's where I started getting to know Kryptonite really well. And amongst others, like it's a small group, but it's not the same group every week.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of opportunity there to get to know some guys, a little closer than you would if at a beatdown of 20 some people.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that too. And I just think that variety and just smaller group.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that most guys even realize how the value having consistently smaller workouts.
Yeah.
Like we've been trying for years to keep expanding to get to this, like the number they talk about in Free to Lead is, 19 or less. And it's a good problem to have that we keep growing, but it also like we're missing out on that truly the small workout group. Cause some of it I think, and it's a good lead into the fellowship kind of topic, but like when the group is smaller, you can actually have some conversation during the beatdown a little bit. Whereas like a group of 20 guys, like it's almost impossible, right? To like keep up with what the queue is trying to say and what other guys are doing. But would be curious your thoughts on the fellowship side of things. How did that progress for you?
Well, I'm going back to that. I mean, it's a number of things. When you have that many people too, it makes sense to break into.
Yeah.
So right there, you're secluding yourself from a good chunk of the people in the workout. Whereas block party, I feel like majority of the time, we may partner up or something, but for the most part, it was one group,
Yeah.
everybody together. So
Yep.
that certainly gives you opportunity to have more of a group conversation better than.
Yeah.
With the fellowship, it just progressed, I think, naturally. Is
Yeah.
like I said, I went into this thinking like, okay, I got friends.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I got people I can talk to. I I'm here for workouts, and
Hmm.
I'm always open to meeting people and making those relationships, but that wasn't focus for me.
Hmm.
Um, and then just kind of naturally, these are the guys. I don't see my friends every day. I don't
Yeah.
see my friends every month.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
turns into, okay, these are guys I see every single day.
Hmm.
And I, the nice thing about F3, and it's unique, like it brings a very open culture
Hmm.
environment,
Yeah.
which for men isn't common.
Yeah.
I'm not usually calling up my friends, venting, opening up
Yeah.
about what's going on in my life. Like I'll get home from a trip with my friends, and my wife's like, "Oh, what's up with these guys?" I
I
don't.
don't know. Yeah.
They were there.
Yeah.
They were on the trip with me.
We didn't catch
Like,
anything, or we
no,
played
it's like
terrible golf or whatever the trip
we
was.
go to not think,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this is different though. Like, everybody's going through similar things, one way or another, and I think that kind of helped push the fellowship part too,
Mm.
allowing myself to, conversations, whether it would be with pre-running or
Mhm.
coffee, or just kind of being more present during the workouts and COTs and trying to relate to everybody.
Yeah.
I think that really helped with kind of that fellowship portion. I mean, that to now is the key to me.
Yeah.
Reason why I see now why so many people can. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny, and I'm sure I see this with other people earlier on when you're newer and you're focusing on the fitness, and you're like, why do these guys just come here and talk to?
Right.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
busting my ass here and running laps around these people,
Yeah.
and you're so focused on yourself and how you look and how you're performing, and you're like, why are these guys just talking? Now I'm totally that person.
Yeah.
Like I'll be last. I don't
Yeah.
care.
I was doing
I'm here to
that this morning.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in reality, like I know you could easily turn it on and do
Yeah.
this, no problem. Just like all these guys that I've seen can do it. And so I think that's kind of that realization moment where that's okay. All these guys are capable. Everything I'm doing right. They choose to enjoy
Yeah.
this time. You're getting plenty out of it no matter what,
Hmm.
but they are also taking the time to talk to somebody who maybe isn't as comfortable
Yeah.
or maybe newer, or, just making sure everybody's in a good mind. So,
Yeah.
just kind of just naturally being around everybody, seeing how what priorities are for everyone. Naturally.
I love it. Yeah. I was at the workout this morning. Stripes was giving me a hard time because I think I was talking too loud, and I said, well, let me tell you a secret, Stripes. I'm not here for the workout, and
I'm not here for you.
it is interesting, because I think if I can get a pre-run in, and then, like you said, you're going to get some
Mhm.
level of, cardio or something in the workout, even if you're just,
Yeah.
but I try not to do that all the time, although it's hard because I am just, I only post 3 days a week now. So it's like when I get a chance, like I'm totally
Mhm.
there just to hang out. But I would be curious. So I think, and I could have this wrong, but I think Lil House maybe lives more southwest-ish,
Yeah.
and you're maybe more northwest. So how did that work? Like for a while, was he the only person you knew, or were there other guys there? Or how did you kind of break away from the guy who
Ah,
brought you to build new friendships?
he was, I mean, we'll still, anytime he wants to get out,
Yeah.
we'll figure out somewhere to go, whether it's close to him or me. I mean,
Yeah.
for the most part, it's 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, initially when I was earlier on, he make a point to find a spot for us.
Yeah.
I think it was let's see, I think we posted Monday, Tuesday, or maybe not Tuesday, but Wednesday I decided, okay, I like this. Like I'm going to go off my own.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be a big boy and figure this out. So I went to Top Rope on Wednesday, and obviously didn't know a whole lot,
Mm-hmm.
and showed up at about 5:10. Like, there's cars here, but I don't see flags. I
Where
don't
is
see
everybody?
anybody. Where, what, like, what's going on? I wandered around for about 5 minutes and didn't see a single person. I'm like, I'm in the right spot, right? And didn't know there was a 5:15 and a 5:30
Yeah.
start at some places. So I wandered around for about 5-10 minutes, and then I just left because I'm like, I'm not gonna be
Oh
that
yeah.
idiot who is
Just
just wandering here,
hanging
and
out in the
everybody's
school
probably just
parking lot.
hiding in a bush laughing at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I left, and I texted Little House. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's a 5:30 start.
Yeah.
Got to check that." So, but no, I just started going to random places. Every time I went somewhere, you'd meet somebody,
Yeah.
and I did know. I ended up finding out I knew a good amount of people. Fine
Yeah.
Print and I have known each other. We were little. Wide Right,
Oh yeah.
who
Yeah.
I've never. Oh, I have worked out with once actually.
Yeah.
We're buddies from college. I
Nice.
love you. I wish he was here still.
Yeah.
Uh, but we everybody knows everybody through one or two people. So
Yeah.
there's plenty of people I knew, but it was more just meeting meeting everybody. It's so easy. Once
Hmm.
again, it's just so open. Everybody's welcoming, going out of their way to make sure you feel welcome.
Yeah.
Um, so Grizz was great about that. Who I knew who he was. I didn't know him personally really.
Did you go to Miller South or would you?
No, I went to Mount North.
Miller. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to Miller.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
There's some
so
rivalry there. Right?
yeah, because I care so much about
Yeah. Yeah.
high school rivalry
Right.
stuff. That's what I do. I
So
talk crap about the most pointless stuff.
you go,
So
go to all the high school
yeah,
events. What about? I would be curious. Like, did you have any exposure to like Q Source or any of that sort
yeah.
of stuff?
Not knowing what I was going into half the time. Yeah, and just kind of based off of where I go,
Hmm.
don't hit it very often.
Yeah.
Which I should try to. But yeah, I the first few times I went not unknowingly what I was getting involved in, and always left though understanding something better, feeling better about whatever topic it was. A lot of times I feel like we have those conversations naturally too, but with Q source it's intentional. So, one thing I feel like it's kind of replaced that for me is finally joining the lock and
Oh,
having
awesome.
similar conversations like that during our time,
Yeah.
which is another thing I was like, oh, I don't really need a chill. Like I'm motivated. I get out. I don't need somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly need people to.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of replaced it. Not that I'm opposed to going to Q search or anything like that. It's just Fridays I still go to block party
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
So I miss out on some of the Q source. I like the combine, which is what I've gone to before.
Yeah.
Whetstone is close to me, and I
Hmm.
used to do that, and I just haven't been there a lot lately. So,
Yeah.
the ones that I typically would go to that have Q sources, s- for some one reason or another, happen
Yeah. We have too many sites,
infrequently.
basically,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Yep.
What I love that you mentioned the shield lock. I was going to kind of ask you about that because one of the things I was curious in your journey, it would have been likely helpful to have guys weighing in on the job thing and maybe even
Mhm.
networking. But did you feel like at what point did you feel comfortable that like, okay, these are some guys I could kind of process that? Or was
Yeah.
it?
I mean, I was pretty open about my situation.
Hmm.
I'm never good about asking for prayers or asking for help.
Yeah.
Still am not good at that. And I think there was one moment where, I didn't say one, multiple moments where people were like, "Hey, I we say a prayer for you,
Mm.
uh,
Hmm.
just for the job search." And like, wow, yeah, like yeah, 100%. I'm not
Yeah.
opposed to that, and thanks for saying it because I'm not going to ever ask
Yeah.
that. So I've seen people do that for other people. Um, but yeah, a lot of it came through natural just conversation,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of people that was like, "Well, send me, text me or let me get your number and see what I can do."
Hmm.
So there was plenty of people that offered and networking, but it's definitely something that benefit. in
Yeah.
F3.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of that, and ultimately, the job I got didn't have anything to do with anyone for F3, but definitely took some meetings, met some
Yeah.
all through networking people F3, so it was certainly helpful.
Yeah.
Something that I would recommend to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably hire an F3 guy, like, sight unseen, without
Yeah.
even knowing it. Just knowing that somebody's motivated enough to be doing what we're doing is
Mhm.
sort of like, okay, well, they understand hard work. They're willing to, like, push through,
Well, it's kind of like sports too. I can't remember who I was talking to. That like I always ask questions like, "Were you involved in team sport growing up?"
Yeah.
It shows that you're not only
Yep.
there for yourself, like you know how to work within a team and work with other people. And F3 is a similar way. People are motivated to get up and do it.
Yeah.
But you also know, like we always say, like I'd be a decent person to stay with
Yeah.
F3.
Yeah,
If
for sure.
you're not a good person, most of the time you aren't there and you're not coming back. So, it gives you a couple things to kind of build off
Yeah.
as long as they're competent. It's probably a good
Yeah.
hire.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you a little bit about the concentrica, because I would love to hear, like, what's your family thought about
Mhm.
F3, and has F3 had any impact? Also, tell us maybe a little bit of family structure, and then would also love to hear the evolution of the shield lock. Like,
Yeah.
how did that go for you? But talk us through.
Yeah. So I'm married. I have two daughters, 6 and a 12-year-old, 7 and 12-year-old.
Just turned 7.
Not, not that's recent, but
Yeah.
7 and 12-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, initially they thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
But happy for me. I mean, I think my wife knew I needed something to do at that time. So
Yeah.
the blessing. Um, and they're still supportive. My daughters, my youngest daughter especially loves it, like the idea.
Have they been
Working
out to
out.
2.0 still?
I was just talking to Snare about this today. It's like my younger daughter, all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Always asks when she can come out. And then the second there's a 2.0, I'm like, all right, you ready to get up at 5:30 in the morning? I don't think so. I'm not ready. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
But, they're interested. They're asked questions. They love Nameramas.
Mm-hmm.
They'll watch those if I'm on Twitter watching. So it's funny though. It's like everybody that I complain or share this with, like, want me to, this is good for me. You want me to be involved. Complain about me going to bed early.
Mm.
Complain about me getting up early.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what do you want from me?
How do you? Yeah.
I do this because it's actually convenient.
Yeah.
The time wise, it's great because it's convenient. It doesn't take me away from the kids. It doesn't outside of having to go to bed a little.
Yeah.
I always tell my wife, I'm like, well, you decide to sleep in. So if you just got up earlier,
That's the same boat. Yeah, my wife and I've been having that same conversation for
Yeah.
7.5 years.
So yeah, but they also know, like, they're number one to me.
Mhm.
I never put myself first, hardly for anything.
Yeah.
And so, I think they're proud that I found that good for me. And I've seen a lot of change myself,
Good.
just having that foundation support from
Mhm.
guys going through the same stuff, being able to talk about anything, something I probably never did or had in
Mhm.
the past. So I think they all know.
Nice. I love it.
And then the shield lock, like I mentioned, that was not anything, it wasn't, again, something I was opposed to. And it's only been 6 months or so, maybe a little more.
Mhm.
We got ours together.
Yeah.
Um, all guys I've worked out with.
Yeah.
Feels like it's half of F3.
Yeah.
Probably 10 of us. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we meet.
Is reflux in this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are doing book studies, and
Yeah, we
I
did
guess
Titus
I guess
10. We
you-
just
yeah,
finished
you tell
Titus
the, you
10,
tell the
and
story.
now
Yeah.
we're starting to read Titus, book Titus.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so there's a few of them. I feel like they're just babysitting telling
Yeah.
us what we need to do because we can never remember.
Yeah.
But it has. I mean, it's also it's given me an opportunity to even build on some of the ships. Like a lot of these guys,
Yeah.
Chillock, I've been close with known closely since I've been free, especially, and gives me an opportunity to kind of build on the guys. And it's a great group of guys. So,
Hmm.
um, and it's also kind of helped open up my, I'm sure we'll get into faith journey too. It's always been something that never been, always
Mm-hmm.
had it really vocal, barely even have conversations about it. So,
Yeah.
um, that's definitely been a huge change. Helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those guys a lot already. Hasn't been that long and they've given me.
So for guys that maybe aren't in a shield lock or maybe are in a shield lock but wondering how to like talk us through just logistics. You pick a book and then do you meet once a
Yeah.
week and talk about it, or what's that like?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would say there's a few guys, Reflex being one of them, that kind of taken
Hmm.
the, which is great 'cause dealing with kids, with some of us. Um, yeah, it started with, I think Billboard reached out to me asking if I was interested.
Yeah.
So it kind of just starts with one person
Yeah.
s- has the idea or wants to get something started. So you know, don't hesitate to do that. I think worst people could say is I'm already in one or I'm not
Hmm.
interested. It's just like a site queue asking somebody to queue
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
to
Same
lead a
deal.
workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like worst they can say is no. So started with a few people probably talking like we should do this, and so we got a group together, started adding a few more people, and started meeting twice a month. So,
Mm.
and then in our meetings we kind of thought like what would be productive time. And yeah, we have the time to catch up, check in with everybody,
Yeah.
have some mumble chatter, but just utilize this time efficiently. So that's where we started talking about reading a book or having discussion about Bible or whatever the case may be. And I think it was Reflex who said he had started reading Titus 10
Hmm.
and really enjoyed it, or he had already read it. That it's structured to have
Yeah.
conversations by every chapter. So
Hmm.
just made sense, and so we started doing that, and then just finished it. And so now we're kind of leading into. It was kind of like this worked out really well, but how do we even go deeper?
Hmm.
And so that's what started decided to go this next route.
That's
See how
awesome.
it goes, and it's always great conversation. And we joke that Schnitzel's in it too. Schnitzel and I are the old.
Hmm.
Now we're only a few years older,
Yeah.
but we bring all the wisdom.
Right.
So
Yeah.
these guys haven't lived life. They don't know. They don't know anything. So
Yeah. Well, Schnitzel's another dance dad,
yeah, yeah.
or
Well,
cheerleading.
gymnastic or cheerleading now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, he knows the struggle. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a good dynamic. Like it's a good group of guys. We were just talking about Reflex had gone to the retreat,
Yeah. Yep.
and kind of being open, finding the value of all different,
Mm.
learn from anyone, especially learn from people who have lived life,
Yeah.
experienced a lot. But we all have stuff to share. We all have our interpretations and what we're reading, what we're experiencing, what others are experiencing. So once again, it's just kind of like that environment opportunity just went up.
Yeah.
Down for men, it's just like so hesitant to do that, and makes it so easy.
Um, I love it because I think it's cool. Like you EH a guy to like come to the workout, and you're sort of like EHing him to the fitness piece.
Hmm.
And then you kind of have to EH a guy to like, well, come to coffee. And then now I feel like we're seeing regionally in Omaha, we're seeing more guys EH and other men to like, hey, join this book study, right?
Yeah.
And I think we, I'm in a similar book study with a different group of guys, and we've started with book study because we're not sure where everybody's at from a faith perspective, right? And that's a little bit easier than a full on Bible study. And then once you kind of understand where guys are at, you just kind of just to keep EHing guys to do a little bit more
Yeah.
in all three F's. It's just so cool to hear.
That's the same progression I feel like we're going through.
Yeah.
it was actually interesting. This stuck with Misty, um, talking about start giving them props on, like, again, that they've kind of taken the lead on this and that they so much more comfortable experience their faith journey.
Mm,
He said something basically like, we're all called upon.
mm,
So
yeah.
just because you feel like we were joking with JV varsity, just because you think you're JV, like it just maybe means that
Yeah,
your time has not come
yeah,
to take that step. And so kind of stuck with me. It's just like, I never felt like I lacked faith, but like I mentioned before, I'm not going to preach to
yeah,
anyone who's not asking, um, or have open discussions necessarily. Um, I feel comfortable doing it, and so it's kind of like maybe my time
yeah.
in the future here.
Liberty Core Real Estate is your homegrown real estate broker. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate, whether personal or investment, Armando, aka Brian, and Megan Michaels' company is ready to serve you. With Command Center in Old Town Elkhorn and agents all throughout the metro, they are more than ready to guide and serve you in your next real estate endeavor. Whether your next move needs to happen now or in 5 years, call or text Armando at 402-770-2165 to get your questions answered. And a special offer for F3 Nation PAX members, Liberty Core will donate $250 to your sponsor of choosing for every closed transaction. Stop looking, start finding today with Liberty Core Real Estate. Well, and I think, so I would be curious on your faith journey. Like, talk us through maybe what faith was like growing up, and then where do you feel like you're at now?
Yeah, I grew up Lutheran,
Mm-hmm.
so
It's the way to be.
yeah,
That's how I am.
yeah. Well, I got forced out of it.
I
Right, so.
I didn't grow up in the church, by the way, but anyway.
I think we talked about
yeah,
my journey a little bit. You and
yeah,
I have though, but so yeah, I grew up Lutheran. We went to church consistently. My dad actually works at our church
Oh,
that
cool.
I went to growing up. Now he's retired, so he took a job there. So they still go to the same church. So it was consistent. It was what was expected.
Mm-hmm.
That was the expectation. And after probably high school, college, as I moved out, still go when I was at home,
Mm-hmm.
on my own, not so much. And then, um, it was my wife who kind of got us more consistent again.
Yeah.
She came from a different background. She went to side
Oh, yeah.
Baptist, right? And
Like at 100 and whatever in Dodge out there.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
by
Yeah.
what Canopy or
Yeah.
kind of. And so, my stipulation was like, okay, well, like, let's get back in this consistent, but we're going to my church.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we go to hers and mine more consistent. And then finally, I don't know, probably COVID time. She's
Mm.
like, this is not very close to so many churches here that we
Yeah.
can try. So we started going to Relevant,
Uh-huh.
and not my, definitely wasn't my scene at first concert.
Yeah, you need the hymns and
Yeah.
an organist.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Yep.
I got
all
you.
these lights, all this show, and
Yeah.
I'll still complain about it being a show. But,
Yeah.
it once you get past all that and realize like that you're still walking a
Yeah.
lot, like the and past it. So it's growing on me,
Mhm.
not so much complaining,
Yeah.
enjoying it, getting more out of it. So uh life's gotten crazy. So, we go as often as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say weekly, but as much as possible. And yeah, I mean, but for the longest time, it was going to church. My wife and I talk a little bit about it after.
Mm-hmm.
For a while, I'd complain about
Yeah.
it. And really nothing beyond that until F3. So that's kind of helped me build on some of my faith, kind of putting a little bit more focus on it. And I tend to see more focus on it in what I would call distractions. I get a lot more faith content on social media. I get a lot more podcasts that I'll listen to that are, are more faith focused, and it's led to more conversations with my wife and kids about it. So it's kind of opened that door, not just for myself. Like now I can kind of lead, some of that conversation too. Where
Yeah.
I think my wife's always been open to it. It's more me being closed off,
Yeah.
and so yeah, it's helped kind of open up that piece for our lives.
That's really cool.
Hmm.
I think we, at least from my perspective, and I got to be at the Impact Retreat this last weekend as well. And like, there's clearly a spiritual war, right, that's going on that we can't really see. But I think marriages and families are a place where
Yeah,
that are a little bit under attack. And so I think if we, it's not, it's just like with the fitness stuff, right? Like, can we just do a little bit better, get a little bit more knowledgeable so we can lead better in that space with our families? And I love hearing how you're
yeah,
doing that. I think I always love Relevant. So we live like 10 minutes away from Relevant, but our church is on 90th and Blondo. So if we're running behind, we'll go to Relevant. And I always I love Ronnie, who's their head
yeah.
pastor, and the fact that he's got all those tattoos and he's just jacked.
See, that was something I complained about it.
Was it? So I told my pastor, you need more tattoos up there, but he's obviously wearing his traditional robe and all that. But I think what's cool and what F3 really reminds me of is we, and I'll say we, but like there's a lot of different religions that have that there are certain things, but like at times I feel like God sometimes is like looking down at us like those aren't the things I wanted you to bicker about or be, like be dividers, and so I think really just F3 being able to connect, like at the retreat, like there wasn't really any talk about denominations or like, people there were Catholic and Baptist and Lutheran and all the different things. And I think being able to like remove some of those barriers has been really cool with F3.
It's not just religion too. It's everything. Like you can't have a conversation anymore and disagree with somebody. Have it be civil. But in this, I've never felt hesitant or uncomfortable sharing my opinions, thoughts. Like no one comes at me for disagreeing with it. It's the way it should be.
It's just part
of civil conversation.
Yep. Yeah. Sure.
Kind of going off what you just said though, I mind the dumb thing I do, but I don't know if you've ever been to a workout where I share my COT from a book of Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
So I'm a
no.
big Matthew McConaughey fan.
Yeah, he's got a couple great books, right? He has a prayer book recently. Prayers and poems.
But it just reminded me, I just did one COT at Riptide a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was the Oscar speech. It was like in 2014. But basically, in order to have a fulfilled life, something up to, something to look forward to, someone to chase. So F3 kind of gives you all that, right?
Yeah.
So someone to look up to, said God, his faith, someone to look forward to, his family, and then someone to chase is himself in 10 years.
Yeah,
right? So
I feel like I've heard that. Yeah,
he'll never or he'll never be satisfied chasing himself. But my point was, after he's given me all of that,
yeah,
it's helped me build my faith. It's helped me build my family.
Yeah,
helps me be that person in 10 years I want to try and be, at least.
Yeah.
Help me get to that point. And I just thought it was really relatable.
Yeah.
This gives you all those good things. Like, if you come into this like me thinking it's just for fitness, like just give it some time and you're going to realize.
Okay. Well, I would love to get your thoughts on the leadership side of things. So you kind of mentioned, right, you have some work experience leading, obviously leading your family, but then have had a chance to lead within F3. So would love to just kind of hear, like, what was that like? What did you learn? Any sort of advice or lessons you would share with other leaders?
Like I said, I mean, I loved every minute of it. Didn't know what to expect. Once again, you kind of hesitant. I'm sure everybody's a bit hesitant committing to that, being like, oh, I got to do this every week. It was simple, you know? And really the things that you think are going to be hard, small time, filling up your queue schedule. just taken care of.
Attendance and PaxNet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, once again, it was block party. I never really was that concerned about attendance. So just logging it, and
Yeah.
actually I did all right about it. But it was more, it became my home,
Mhm.
really. Like I was, once I passed it on to Landman, everybody always asks like, "Oh, have you been back there?" And it's like, I'm there every week.
Yeah.
And some people have said like, "Oh, I wanted to give the new site queue some time, kind of establish themselves, and may not be there to taking it away." And I'm like, I
Yeah.
hope I don't do that. I'm there to support him. I have
Yeah.
nothing to do with
Yeah.
being the leader of this anymore. Like, I want him to know, like, I'm always going to be there.
Mm.
So it's my home now. And the leadership part, I mean, it was fulfilling.
Mm.
You got to be there and make sure everything was running smoothly, do the job that you're there to
Mhm.
do, but also get to see a lot of growth, support people, help people, kind of continue their journey.
Mhm.
Whether it be just leading a workout or, making sure that they're coming out and they're feeling welcome and enjoying their time there. And, I think that's the biggest part. Everybody can, we're all experienced enough that we can manage to get through a workout. Somebody may not show up. We can easily get through a workout even when
Yeah.
that happens. Like,
Yeah.
that's not the big part. It's just making sure that everybody feels like they belong
Mm.
and are welcomed and supported as much as possible. So once again, that's what I love doing.
Yeah.
Whether it be work or outside of work. And so I think that's why I enjoyed it so much and why I can't get rid of me. I
Yeah.
just keep going back.
Yeah.
So
It's so cool.
yeah.
It's cool because like on a certain level, I feel like we're all just trying to give away what we feel like was there when we showed
Yeah.
up for that first time, you know? And so like we have all these guys that have like very different experiences, but also very similar in the fact that like we showed up and just felt like we were accepted
Mhm.
for who we were. And so then like we're all like, I feel like I see all these guys like we're still involved and we want to make sure that every other guy that shows up or is going through something difficult receives that same
Yeah.
same gift.
Well, I'm going back to what I said about seeing people, enjoying the social part more. Like
Hmm.
maybe that's also why. Maybe they're
Yeah.
taking,
Yeah.
sacrificing their workout to ensure that somebody else is enjoying theirs,
Yeah.
getting the experience they need to. But that played a huge part in mine. Like, I can still remember a lot of texts I got early on of like,
Hmm.
"Hey, it was awesome seeing you. And nice meeting you. Like, you're
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah.
Continue doing what you're doing." I know,
Hmm.
Little House and Grizz. I had a text conversation after my first time, them making sure I'm still getting out, making sure, encouraging me to come meet them and stuff like that. I mentioned Bouncer reaching out, Stripes reached out, like you,
Hmm.
like I can remember all these text messages of just encouragement and like, let me know if you ever want to get out, get a beat down in, anything like that. Like
Yeah.
just making you feel well supported. Hard to say no to that,
Yeah.
like now, especially I've felt things catch up to me a bit, just energy wise, feeling tired. And now it's like, okay, I got to commit to somebody or
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm coming.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
for the most part, I'm good, but it's like if I commit to, running with somebody
Yeah.
or something, like I don't want to let anyone, I can let myself down. I don't want to let anyone else. Uh, that to me is nice thing of having other keep you up.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the worst, right, is if you do commit and then happen to oversleep or
Oh yeah.
that's like one
Oh,
of my biggest fears, you know,
you
but
can ask Schnitzel that one. I think it was
yeah.
my second or third time queuing. I overslept
Oh,
at,
no.
at the berm.
Oh, no.
I told him now, I was like, I was just asserting my dominance,
Right. Yeah.
just making you understand who's boss. But
That's awesome.
that just came up not too long ago. Again, he just can't seem to forget.
Reminds you of that. I love it. Well, this has been, it's crazy how fast this time goes, but it's been really
Mhm.
cool to just
Yeah.
hear you unpack the journey. And I just love that you're continuing to just find ways, like you mentioned, right? Like you're clearly like chasing yourself 10
Mhm.
years from now, trying to be better, which is so cool. I would be curious, one of the where we like to kind of wrap up is like, where do you think about currently what's going on in life? Where do you need prayers or support or encouragement?
Uh, just encouragement to continue to grow. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a huge focus. Like I feel the progress I've made,
Mm-hmm.
especially over the last year or two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and a lot of it attributed to impact by other people around me.
Yeah.
Um, so continue support for that and just helping me be the best version I can be and sharing that
Yeah.
with everybody. Hopefully everybody
Yeah.
else gets to experience it and it helps them too. Um, Outside of that, I mean, it just seems like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Every day seems the same. So,
Yeah.
uh, you know, pray for me financially with having two girls, and
Yeah.
three girls in the house, and especially in dance. It's always fun trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a wild ride.
Yeah.
Uh, Everything's good as of right now. I just continue to grow and
Heck
being
yeah.
the best version of myself.
Thankfully, there's older guys in F3 with older
Yeah.
daughters that we can sort of counsel us as
Yeah.
we're.
Well, they needed to be there early on
Yeah.
before I made decisions.
Yeah.
That would have been helpful. Now it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, think about the weddings. And,
Yeah,
we got time. Well, I appreciate it. Let's do a little Namo to wrap us up here. Brandon Fleehardy, 40, The
Oh,
Plague.
nice. 40.
Ah!
Plague. Adam Worth's 42, Sandworm.
Sandworm. And do we have has anybody come up with a call sign or like anything we say after you say your name? Or
Oh,
I'm sure Grizz has Beetlejuice. I suppose we
Yeah,
could just say
what-
that. Or
I've heard some stuff, and some of it I'm like, oh, I should
yeah,
say Ken.
yeah, that's all right.
I'll have to think about that. There's been plenty of good stuff, and there's so many quotes from that movie say that
Yeah,
fantastic. Nothing.
yeah. It's always fun when guys have something right. We got a guy, Pink Eye. That is a newer guy, and so we're thinking this morning trying to come up with what his should be. But
I just get itchy.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what I said. My eyes are itchy, but it didn't really catch on.
And when they say something randomly during Nemo, it's like you're kind of in the zone I got to remember my name and age.
Yeah.
Like, so I'll hear it, but I don't actually hear it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to pay better attention.
Take some notes.
There's been a
next
few
time.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Scars on our hands, hope in our chest. We're not defined by the weight of the test. Brothers in step, we carry the flame. Different roads, but the heart beats the same. Every man's got a story to tell. From the valley low to the mountaintop, yeah. Every man's got a story inside. Standing strong, we won't hide. Every man, yeah. Every man's got a story. We've been broken, we've been bruised, but we rise again and we don't get to choose. Through the fire, through the fight, every man's story burns in the night. Scars on our hands, hope in our chest. We're not defined by the weight of the test. Brothers in step, we carry the flame. Different roads, but the heart beats the same. On a story to tell, from the valley low to the mountaintop yell. Every man's got a story inside. Different roads, but the heart beats the same. Every man's got a story to tell. From the valley low to the mountaintop hill. Every man's got a story inside. Standing strong, we won't hide. Every man, yeah, every man's got a story. Every man's got a story. Voices rise like thunder, they roll. Truth in the pain, it's shaping the soul. Chains may rattle, but they break in time. Every man's story is yours and mine. From the struggle to the glory, every man's got a story. In the dark or in the light, we keep marching through the night. Every man's got a story inside. Every man's got a story to tell. From the valley low to the mountaintop hill. Every man to the mountaintop hill. Every man's got a story inside. Standing strong, we